coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Set for a start, it's Dicker the kicker. Cameron Dicker with a run-up, and off we go from SoFi Stadium. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Right to the air goes Nix. A short throw to Ingram. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
To throw is Nix. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll make it second down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
They work now on 2nd and 9. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
From the gun on third down, it's Nix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
They go back to the ground with Dobbins. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down. They'll run here with a rookie. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Tui Pelotu got in and dropped him.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Chargers ready to take over. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now 2nd and 9. A first carry for Najee Harris. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger 1st down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They'll run on 1st down. Hampton. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 14 for the 2nd play in a row. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. Out to his left. Herbert able to show his wheels as he gets the 1st.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. This will be caught at about the 6. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. He tried to break that plane but couldn't get there, and that's going to leave him now at 3rd and goal. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has a better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see what happens.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Tyler Conklin from a yard out. And the Chargers are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. Found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies are trying to force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing Nix. A short throw to Ingram. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Here's Nix. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. From the 41, here's a 2nd and 5. Nix to the air. A short throw to Ingram. His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a first down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
They'll go play action with Nix. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. Here's 2nd and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. A give up the middle to Dobbins. Down right around the 25. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. To throw, here's Nix. He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 13-yard line. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give them 12 yards that time.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Deion Henley there on the tackle. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front three, your front four, front five, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
And a lot of being a defender is being able to learn what you can and can't get away with when in man coverage. In this case, he got away with it. It helped pop that ball free.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Now it's Nix. And that will be incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. The kick by Lutz is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Herbert. He finds his man, complete. It's Hampton. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Herbert now. That is caught. He's got a first and maybe more. Now he's loose down the left sideline. Touchdown, L.A. Mike Williams, 68 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And we get another look now at this Broncos offense. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game, where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those sixes on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
A short throw to Ingram, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Here is third down and 4. Back to throw. Nix. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he will have a Broncos first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Harvey. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Perfect execution on that inside handoff, and then a little will, a little brute strength to move forward after the contact.
What do we call that now in today's NFL? Heck, in today's football? Contact balance, right? That's the buzzword, the phrase you hear. A back who can absorb contact, bounce off of it, and keep moving. Just what you said, brute strength, force of will.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. There to make the tackle, Khalil Mack. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
From the 21, here's second down and 5. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Sutton. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
They'll try to run this one in, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Broncos have come back to make it a 2-point game.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Charger defensive unit making their way back out there. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Open man here is Conklin. He's across midfield. Big strides, look at him go. And did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 76 yards.
And what a letdown after a huge play. He's going to pull this in and then set sail for the end zone. And he nearly made it too. But he's going to be tracked down just short of the goal line. So a big play there that's going to set him up with 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
They'll try to run this one in. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here's Herbert. Touchdown, Chargers. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball, or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary, or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they're going to continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Well, the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Nix. This one complete. It's Devon Vele. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the 2nd half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Got a man open. It's Sutton. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Right back to Dobbins on 1st. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. 2nd and 9 now. A short throw to Ingram. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 18. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
Oh, that's a nice job of clearing space in the middle of the field for your tight end. He's going to start behind the line and run an angle route, hoping to kind of get lost in the middle of the field. And this is put right on him, and he's able to pick up a first down.
Back to throw now on first down. And he's caught by Vele. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. From 8 yards out. And the Broncos get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Yeah, touchdown. I love it. Now it's only a 2-point game. I know it's the first half, but you've got to think. Go for 2. Tie it up. Go into the locker room. What are you doing? Come on.
You're bold. You're bold.
It's real easy to be bold sitting up here rather than
right?
down there and making that decision.
We don't have to make those decisions. Either way, little time left on the clock here in the second quarter. We'll see how this all plays out. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Chargers going to take over now late in this first half. And with a 1-point lead, you'd have to think they'll be looking just to get this to halftime. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert. Got his man. It's Williams. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He's got this to Williams, complete. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Herbert. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Broncos going to get 1 more possession in this first half. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
A final shot before break. Nix, he's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. Well, now how about this return? Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43. The Chargers getting ready to go here to start this third quarter. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Out of the gun, Herbert. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Herbert. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. On 1st down, Hampton. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Now they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And, oh, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Pat Surtain up to make the play.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams on the touchdown throw from Justin Herbert. And the Chargers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. To throw is Nix. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. No gain on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A short throw to Ingram. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
They'll run on first down. It's Harvey looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
And once again, not much running room, if any at all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring them down in the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
They set up the screen for Dobbins. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. It's brought in by Harris. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. The tight end in motion right. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
From the 50, here's Herbert. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Up the middle they go. It's Hampton, and tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. Hampton. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
On 1st down, it's Hampton, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And the Chargers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as strong running gets them to the 9-yard line.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the fourth quarter. He's got it. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a third and goal situation. Harris diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown.
And how nice is it to have a guy like Najee Harris in the backfield when you get down near the goal line? He can use his 230-plus pound frame to just get you those tough yards, and he finishes things off here with a touchdown run.
Dicker down to tack on the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Set to take over, the Broncos offense trots back out. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing Nix. A short throw to Ingram. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Nix from the shotgun. His throw incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Nix to the air. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 32 on the play.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the 4th quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
Here's a give to Dobbins to the 27-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. A fake on the jet sweep and a give to Dobbins. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play.
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Oh, Tito Agbanaya getting in there to drop him. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. L.A. set to take over again on offense. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 21 yards. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
They'll run on 1st down. Hampton. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Talanoa Hufanga in on the stop. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hampton. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
3rd down and 6. Back to throw here, Herbert. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
2nd and 10. Herbert running left off the option. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
He's got the open man. That's McConkey. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 19. 15 yards there for number 15. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Second and 7. Now a handoff up the middle. Hampton, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Now the penalty, a big assist to this offense. Now it's 3rd and 3. Herbert now. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Ladd McConkey. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Well, I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up 1st downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores.
And now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review of that last play. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Working out of the gun is Nix. And that is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, here's Nix. A short throw to Ingram. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
This offense so far on 3rd down, well, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This will be 3rd and 5. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he will have a Broncos first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Here's Nix. He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Nix to throw again. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 21. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where his coaches
are under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Flush to his right. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Dante Jackson picks it, and the Chargers are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. They'll start on the ground here on first down, and just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hampton, and he'll take this one up to about the 13. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Southern California, so long, everybody.